So the left-hand one now sort of starts off as your original with the ball back in the stance there, hands quite a long way forward, pre-setting, I say, putting a lot of kind of emphasis now on the leading edge, hitting the ground. Coming in for me a little bit too steep, okay, and that's going to create if you hit the ground a millimetre behind the golf ball, it's going to go nowhere. And then what you then did, and we'll try and show this quite briefly and quickly, sort of video scare you, okay? Your arms kind of pull in, there's that sort of twitch there, trying to get out. And again, if you didn't do that, you would have hit the ground a foot behind the ball every single time, and just your chipping would be even worse, believe it or not, okay? So it's kind of like almost like a fail-safe to try and do something to not miss hit it. Exactly, So we want to get that shaft a little bit more neutral. Just make sure that weight does favour a little bit on that front side. Not a lot, just a smidgen. 60-40 would be fine, And then in terms of swing now, we can use the bigger muscles of the torso, as you can see here now. And if you actually watch this in kind of full speed, okay, there's a nice kind of twist and torso movement through, where everything is working together, You're keeping your height, your hands aren't jabbing or jerking. It's a smooth transition, whereas... quickly and briefly, just to compare the two, but hands forward and that kind of like... And that was actually not a bad one in relative to some of the ones you had before. Some of them were really kind of jerky and jabby.
Still see just after impact, there's still just a hint of trying to get that.
And I think a little bit of unhinged with the wrist is okay. I mean, I'm not saying you've got to be... Exactly. It's the way, when you throw a ball, you wouldn't try and keep your arm rigid. There'd be a sort of a natural kind of unhinging of the wrist, okay? The key thing is, this triangle here, or this torso movement has to kind of move as you swing the golf club. So that triangle that you kind of create there now is kind of maintained as you turn. The same way as I said to you, just pass me that basket, you went, there you go. So if I'm here now, this is the structure I've got here now as I was holding the basket, I just turned to face you. There's no kind of thought my right hand does it, or my left arm, my right shoulder, my right knee. You just got there and went, oh, there you go. And you just did natural kind of twist and turn. But that's only going to come from if your club is working more this way and you're not fearful of hitting the ground. Your chip shots, as we said, there was a focus on not trying to hit the ground, because in the past, coming down that steep, hitting the ground was a no-no, and your club had to then sort of go, and a very sort of vertical kind of V-shaped type angle of attack, very steep, and then picking up the other side. And you hit the odd decent chip shot every now and then, but you're generally going to be more miss the ground mentality and just thin it across the green. And because of that, then you were guessing. And the problem with thin chips or fat chip shots is you make a swing that might chip it 20 yards. The amount of energy that would hit a golf ball 20 yards, if you fat it, it goes about 3 yards. If you thin it, it goes about 40. So it's like, well, how hard you hit it? And then you're almost like going the opposite to the previous. If I thin the first one, hit it a bit softer next time, then you fat it. Oh, hit it a bit harder, and then you just, greenside in 2, and you're making 6, 7, 8 out on the green, aren't you? So slightly more neutral with that shaft, so you're utilising the bounce of the club, like you said you do with a bunker shot and the more lob shots, okay? The back of the club's a much more friendlier part of the club to use, okay? If you make the ball lower, take less loft, don't try and push the hands forward and de-loft.
The first time that I can remember, I've got, actually, thanks to the video instruction, I've got a kind of an idea of what the feel is, and what it should look like.
And there's going to be some funky ones down the line, admittedly, but if we could say like 7 or 8 out of 10 now are going to be chip shots that resemble a golf shot, rather than 1 out of 10 being a good shot, and the rest are just like, well,
and get some reps in and build some muscle memory around that.
Exactly.
And then hopefully I'll become target focused, not technique focused.
Exactly. And at your standard, you've got to be looking anything inside 20, 30 yards, unless it's an extreme off a bank or whatever, up and down is what you're looking for, really. Or inside 8, 10 foot.
I play with a couple of guys the other day, one's off 2, one's off 5, and they're just up and down. And I used to be like that.
And that's why you got down to that lower handicap, and the handicap's pushing up because of the short game.
Short game's king,
exactly.
So 60 yards in, or even 100 yards in, but 60 yards, that's where the game...
Oh, that's your scoring. So open the foot out, little bit of weight left side, shaft nice and neutral, and then from there the bigger muscles then going to be the emphasis now swinging this golf club this way, as opposed to the jabbing of the arms or the please don't hit the ground kind of mentality. So
in terms of this particular show, I'll go and work on it for a month or whatever. And then I'm intending that we'll have
some sessions a month.
In the meantime, but we'll have a catch up on this and see where I'm at in it.
Perfect. Give yourself a few weeks.
In terms of the big swing,
yes.
I think I got a reasonable swing and tempo, but my bad shots are kind of a bit of a sway.
Okay.
Trying to transfer weight.
Okay. Sway with the top half or the bottom half?
I'd say it starts with the bottom half, but it's a whole body.
Okay.
And what that can mean is similar to the chip. You end up coming in
a bit steep on it. Yeah. Okay.
And losing it. That's really my bad shot. So if I can remember to kind of stay.
Well, the thing with any long shot, you want your head behind the ball at impact.
Yeah.
Or on top of it at the most. If your head's going ahead of it, then that's top half. So lower half movement, though, and lower half lateral. The pros do sway quite a lot with their lower half.
Yeah.
So lower,
clear the hips.
Exactly. But your head is staying behind the ball as you're in the golf ball. Yeah. So we can look at that in a bit more detail in this session. But definitely with the short game there, that more neutral setup is going to give you much more confidence.
If you're saying I'm saying, I feel my swing's okay, it's because the results are okay, but if you're saying look for consistency, we need to deconstruct
this. Possibly. I don't think we need to read massive change. I think, again, I always say it's what the golfer has, and kind of, it's never like restart again. That's the one thing. I've had one guy in all my years who said, I want to start my swing again, because he was struggling big time, but very rare that's the case, to be fair. So, okie dokie.